Between the Tigris and Euphrates, the first sparks of civilization began to glow. Ancients. From humble riverside huts, the first cities of Sumer began to rise. Streets filled with ruins. Here, among flickering lamps and whispering priests, symbols were pressed into clay. The ziggurats rose like mountains built by human hands, bridges between earth and sky. Carved into black stone, Hammurabi's code declared that justice was not man's creation, but the will of the gods.
Ancient tablets spoke of the Anunnaki, powerful beings.
In the ruins of Nineveh, a forgotten king built a library of the gods. The tablets tell of a flood that swallowed the world, sent by the gods to cleanse creation. From their hands came tools that changed the world: the wheel, the plow, the calendar. Among the relics of Mesopotamia lies the Baghdad Battery, a clay jar that... Long before telescopes, Mesopotamian scholars watched the heavens with wonder. They named the stars. In Mesopotamia, medicine and magic were on. Healers read the stars, whispered prayers to the gods. From clay tablets and carved lines, Mesopotamians created the language of numbers. They divided The wisdom of Mesopotamia did not end with its fall. Its ideas flowed through the veins of the rivers that once gave life turned away. Cities that touched the heavens crumbled into ways. For centuries, Mesopotamia slept beneath the sand, forgotten by history. Then, explorers came. Piece by piece, scholars unlocked the code of cuneiform, the world's first written language. From the dust rose a story older than time, the Epic of Gilgamesh. A king
beginnings. Rediscovered after thousands of years, Mesopotamian stories are no longer echoes in the dust. Today,
from the plow that tilled the earth to the wheel that moved mountains, Mesopotamia's inventions powered the future. With the rise of cities came the need for order. Hammurabi's code was the first attempt at codified justice. From the ashes of Mesopotamian glory, empires rose and fell, each shaping the legacy of leadership. From the walls of Uruk to the bustling streets of today, the legacy of Mesopotamia endures. In Mesopotamia, the gods ruled over every aspect of life, from the vast heavens to the deepest underworld.
Inventions. The Code of Hammurabi introduced the concept of an eye for an eye, a principle that influenced justice systems for centuries.
From the abyss of chaos, the gods emerged: Anu, Enlil, and Ea.
Inanna, the goddess of love, descended to the underworld to visit her sister, Ereshkigal.
Inanna's journey through the underworld did not end in death. She was reborn. From the depths, she rose. In Mesopotamian thought, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth was sacred. From the rise, the art of Mesopotamia was more than just decoration. It was a language that spoke of power, divine favor, and the eternal. Mesopotamian art was not just for decoration. It was the first form of visual storytelling. The ziggurat of Ur, a monumental feat of architecture, was more than just a temple. It was a beacon of human nature. From the towering ziggurats of Mesopotamia to the awe-inspiring pyramids of Egypt and the grand temples of Greece,
Mesopotamia gave birth to the written word. With the invention of cuneiform, the need for administration.
In Mesopotamia, the bureaucracy was the backbone of civilization. Taxation, law enforcement, and in Mesopotamia, the earliest known system of irrigation was developed, enabling the growth of crops in the arid landscape.
The cities of Mesopotamia were not just places of residence, they were marvels of urban planning.
The Mesopotamians believed that their gods dwelled among them, and their temples were designed as bridges to the divine. The design of Mesopotamian temples, with their towering ziggurats and elevated altars, influenced the architecture of later civilizations. Mesopotamians were among the first to study the heavens systematically. Using simple tools, they observed the stars. The Mesopotamians developed the sexagesimal system, which divided time into 60 minutes, 60 seconds for Tonandrostrosobreaks. Mesopotamian engineers were among the first to use geometry systematically, applying precise measurements in single spaces etches. The mathematical systems developed in Mesopotamia laid the groundwork for modern engineering. From Mesopotamia, Mesopotamian engineers and urban planners designed their cities with incredible foresight. Their knowledge of astronomy, the innovations in agriculture, urban planning, and governance developed in Mesopotamia did not remain isolated. From the laws we follow to the cities we live in, the innovations of Mesopotamia continue to shape the world today. From the earliest forms of writing and governance to groundbreaking advancements in astronomy and mathematics, Mesopotamian, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the world's first great literary work, tells the story of a king's journey to seek immortality. The myths of Mesopotamia, such as the story of Gilgamesh, profoundly influenced later Greek and Roman mythologies. The gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia, Anu, Enlil, Ishtar, were not just figures of mythology. They sizzled close. Mesopotamian religious imagery and artistic styles left a lasting legacy on Western art. The powerful surrealism and modernism drew heavily from ancient iconography, including the gods and symbols of Mesopotamia. Mesopotamian mythology and symbolism continue to influence modern storytelling. From blockbuster films like 300 and Mesopotamian literature, especially the Epic of Gilgamesh, delves into the complexities of human nature, fate, and morality. Mesopotamian philosophical and ethical ideas, especially those found in texts like the Epic of Gilgamesh, laid the groundwork for Western thought. Changes. Mesopotamian astronomers were some of the first to map the stars and track the movements of planets. The Mesopotamians were the first to develop a sophisticated system of timekeeping, dividing the year into 12 months. Mesopotamians were the first to divide the year into months and the day into hours, creating systems that influenced our modern calendar. The Mesopotamians were pioneers in creating a reliable system of timekeeping, using the moon's phases to structure the
Mesopotamians' groundbreaking work in mapping the stars and tracking the movements of planets laid the methods pioneered by Mesopotamian astronomers are the foundations of modern scientific research.
Mesopotamian contributions to the understanding of time and the cosmos provided a foundation for the development of modern scientific disciplines like physics and engineering.
The ancient innovations of Mesopotamian civilization have shaped the world we live in today.
The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the earliest surviving works of literature, set the stage for modern storytelling. The Epic of Gilgamesh explores themes that resonate deeply with the human experience: mortality, the pursuit of immortality.
The Epic of Gilgamesh is often considered one of the earliest expressions of existential thought.
Gilgamesh's quest for immortality, his struggle with the inevitability of death, and his ultimate self-discovery. Gilgamesh's journey, filled with questions of mortality, echoes the existential dilemmas faced by individuals today.
Gilgamesh's struggle with identity and the search for meaning mirrors key ideas in modern psychology, particularly in existential psychology.
Gilgamesh's grief over the death of Enkidu mirrors the modern human experience of loss and mourning. His emotions.
In the end, Gilgamesh accepts his mortality, understanding that the quest for immortality was not the
The Code of Hammurabi laid the foundation for modern legal systems, embedding principles of justice.
The Code of Hammurabi introduced revolutionary principles of justice, including the idea of retribution, Hammurabi's code laid the groundwork for legal systems worldwide. Its principles of justice, retribution,
Thus, Hammurabi's code not only established justice and retribution, but also
As we look to the future, the principles set forth in Hammurabi's code will continue to influence how legal systems evolve.
1 Science and Seasons. While Hammurabi's principles of justice, retribution, and fairness laid the foundation for modern legal systems.
As the world looks to the future, the enduring principles of Hammurabi's code.
Hammurabi's code remains one of the most influential documents in human history.